Mob Smasher Industries.
Hello everybody, Thorgal here, and welcome back to another episode of Mob Smasher Industries. This is part 2 of my empowered oil power generation automation. If you missed the part 1, I recommend you watching that, because we got a lot of things done. Just to recap real quick, we got to the point that we are getting the oil out of the fermenting barrels, and we are sending them over here into the fluid placer, and we are also have this automated right here. So it drops a seed, a regular canola seed, and it turns it into a crystallized one by hitting it with the atomic reconstructor, and that is going up here waiting in the crystallized into the automatic precision dropper. And we also sending one over here to the empower. And while I'm recording this after the fact, everything is set up already, but I just wanted to have a little bit of an intermission pickup video here in case you're not watching them back to back, to refresh your memory. And now we'll go ahead and continue with the second part of this automation. Now, whoops, up here, for that one, I'm gonna need another program and another processor or CPU core. And come up here, this one is saved on the other one, we'll clear it, and we'll put this in here. And I know this program here, I just gotta bring up the screenshot so I don't mess anything up. And we're gonna put the process in a second. So this one right here, we're gonna call crystallize, okay? And the next, this program and the next one, and I'm only gonna show you this one, not the next one, because they're almost identical. Because it's the same process, right? Do you have a bucket? Yes. Put it out, drop a seed, pick it up. It's the same over here. Do you have a bucket? Yes. Put it out, drop a seed, pick it up, right? Okay. There's just going to be different names and different notes. So we're going to start again, like always, with a repeat. And the ticks I'm going to set to 20, like always. And what are we going to do first? And now it comes something that I have not used much in the past, but I wanted to use it here. There's two things you can do in a processor. In a processor, I could put a RAM chip in here, which then every RAM chip opens up 8 variables, okay? But I have problems in the past with the variables, and it's not the mod's fault, it's my own intelligence, honestly. I'm having a problem with sending things to these that I want and reading them. But these tokens here is something you can set. You can give it a number, you can give it a word, whatever you set it to, okay? And I also think the variables are only used per cycle of a program. I could be wrong, but I believe that's how it works. So it goes from here to the end, and it uses the variables. Once it starts again, I don't think it uses the same set of variables. It wipes them or something. The token is gonna stay there until you change it, okay? Now, this first program doesn't need anything, but the second program is gonna need this token. So I clicked on this and enabled this token right here. And the slot numbering, by the way, is 0 is here. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to, what is this here? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So this would be 23. Because the first one is not 1, it's actually 0, okay? And while we're at it, we're going to add the second token that we're going to need for the other program. We're going to put that here. And the program that's going to run here is going to use this token. I'm pretty sure I haven't written this one yet, but this should still be token slot 1, not 0. So 0 and 1. But we'll see if it works or not. I'll show you in the end. And then, of course, I'm going to need the second processor for the second program, and I also made a third one to run here. Okay, it doesn't matter. So second is there, third is there. Good. We're all good. All right, so the program. First, I'm gonna check a token. It's all gonna be based, my whole logic is gonna be based on these tokens, guys. And I'm gonna have 3 states in that token. I'm gonna have 0, 1, and 2. 0 means I'm on the oil placing stage, okay? If it's set to 0, that means I have not placed the oil yet. If I am at 1, it means I have placed the oil, but I have not dropped the seed yet. And if it is 2, that means I have dropped the seed, but I have not picked it up yet. And hopefully it will make sense why I chose these tokens here in a second. So the first one here, I'm going to check the token slot 0 on every one of them. I'm only gonna check one time actually, right here in the beginning of the program. I'm checking the token in slot 0. Okay, and that's gonna return me something, either 0, 1, or 2. And I'm checking equality right here. Okay, and I'm checking on the equality if the token, and that is going to be last int, because if I'm only giving it numbers, so I'm checking the last int, which is, if I'm hoping, 0, and I'm checking if it is 0. Okay, now if that is, why can I not click here? There we go. If it is true, I'm gonna continue this way. If it's false, I'm gonna go down. And let's do this first thing first. Right here, there is a wire, and I just decided to split this up a little bit. So I'm checking here if it's false. It's not 0. I'm sending it down 1. This is just a connection. It doesn't do anything, okay? And I'm gonna check the next time here. Is it 1? And then down here, is it 2? And I'm gonna just have to put my connectors here again, right there. Okay, so I'm checking here. If it's false, oh, sorry, you only connect here. If it's not 1, it's false. Again, go down. And if it's not 2, if it gets down here and it is not 2, then there's a little extra bonus I'm gonna put here in a second, okay? So to the right is always true, and downwards is always false. And why are you guys still blinking? Because you don't have anything next to it. Okay, no problem. So again, check the token. If it's 0, we're going to use this row. If it's 1, we're going to use this row. If it's 2, we're going to use this row. If it's none of them, we're going to do something down here. And that would be the very first time I run the program, right? The token isn't set. So I'm going to have to do something. So I'm going to set the integer right here. You can set this, make an integer. And I'm going to give this 0. And then underneath here, I'm going to set that to our token right there in slot 0. I hope that makes sense, guys. I'm trying my best to explain this, and the program ends, right? But I like to, for just demonstration, to make a clean cut program here, I'm saying stop program. So check the token. It's not 0, it's not 1, it's not 2. Let's set it to 0 and stop the program. And then, you know, after a second it would start again. Wow, that was a lot of explanation. I hope I didn't lose you guys. All right, so now, if it is 0, what are we going to check first? We're going to check how much liquid is in that fluid placer, right? And that is, just to show you guys again, it's this node back here, which is called place. And it's going to be the side east towards us. So I'm going to check on, place. Sorry about that, I just had to get rid of a telemarketer. Okay, so I'm checking the fluid on the node place to the east. And if that equals, so again, we're gonna take the last integer, and if that equals 1000, that is why I only want to have one bucket in there, okay? If it is false, it gets to here, but I don't have a bucket in there, okay? Just stop the program. There's nothing else for me to do. I can't place any oil because I don't have a bucket. Okay, why did you go to red again? All right, there we go. But if it's true, guess what we're gonna do? We are gonna send a redstone signal again to place east, and we're gonna set that to 15. And then we're gonna take the same side, place east 0. All I'm mimicking here again is sending it a redstone pulse, right? So now I placed the oil. Now we're gonna have to do, guess what? I'm pretty sure you guys know already. Now we're gonna have to up the token right here. Now, because we placed it, I'm gonna set it to 1, the integer. I'm just setting a number 1, okay? And I'm gonna send that to right here, to my token in slot 0. Done. And then for good measure, what we could do is put back here again a stop program. Done. All right. And then after a second, it comes back in here. Now I'm checking, hey, it is, get the token, is it 0? No. I'm going to go down here. Is it 1? Yes. Now what do I need to do? I'm going to have to check if my dropper has a seed it needs. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right there. Count item externally, okay? So we're going to do the same thing. And that one is this one right there. So that is on the node drop. And again, east. So I'm going to check the inventory. Drop. East. And the item I'm going to check for, oops, I got to click here, is this right there. The crystallized seed, just to, sorry, wrong. I'm checking for a canola seed. No, of course not. I'm checking. I've got confused there. Now I want to make the crystallized. Yes, we're checking for the crystallized canola seed, okay? And if that is bigger, because that's the easiest way to check, so I'm checking the last int. If it is bigger than 0, so that means I have at least 1. Maybe I have more than 1, okay? Like me in the beginning here, to empty my bag later, I'm going to put like 2 dozens in there because I made those during my testing. If that is true, I have the seed. Again, like always, we're just going to fire this. So that is going to be drop. East. And we set it to 15. Sometimes I wish we could directly type in here, but I get it because otherwise you cannot get these pop-ups up there, these extra buttons. So that is drop, east, and then same thing as before. We did drop it, so now we need to advance our token. So we're gonna now set this to 2 and save it on the card, on our token, sorry, which is a card, I guess. In slot 0, and we're gonna stop the program because we're done. Guys, see, it's always the same thing, right? But right here still, if it is not greater than 0, means I don't have a seed. I'm still waiting just for good measure. I am going to, again, put a stop program right there, and it automatically put it to false. So if it's true, do your thing. I have a seed. If not, stop the program. And then it comes back, we check the token, is it 0? No. Is it 1? No. Is it 2? Yes. And now we need to check if the fluid collector, get liquid in tank, I need to check if I have room to pick this up, right? What if this is full? I can't pick it up. I would say pick it up, my program, and it doesn't actually happen. Sorry, wrong one. And then, but I would change the token, right? So I gotta first make sure that I have room in the tank, and because it's always by buckets, I'm simply gonna check, are you equal to did I check this already? No. So that is the break side east. We're still on the east side. I'm checking that tank. Why are you guys blinking? Oh, I never set those. I'm sorry. I need to check right here. This is when I read the token. You guys remember, comes down here. We're checking last int if you are 1. And right here, we're checking the last int if you are 2. There we go. And now, hey, stop blinking. Why are you still blinking? F last? Or maybe because this one is blinking. Drop east. Just forgot to set to 0. Alright, at least you guys see troubleshooting. Alright, so I'm checking the tank here. I'm gonna say last int. And I'm asking, are you 8,000? 8 buckets, okay? Because these things here can hold 8 buckets, right? Yes, 8,000 millibuckets is 8 buckets. So now, if false, this is the one. I'm gonna need to set false this way. And if it's true, let's come down here. We are going to stop the program. So that means, hey, I'm full. Stop me. I'm not full. And now, again, like always, we're just going to have the 2 redstone things here. And I'm going to say break. And we're still on the east. All the other ones, I'm going to check to the west later for the next one. 15. And that's a nice thing because I can keep this program. And all I need to change is sides and what fluids, actually, what seed I'm dropping. So east, and this one I'm setting to 0. This guy's killing me. You are really killing me. Oh, because I didn't connect it down here. That's why. Okay, I needed to connect it here. Now it finally stopped blinking. And now, of course, because we actually picked up again, it starts all over. So I need to reset our token in slot 0 to our token in slot 0. So I'm setting back to 0, which means I picked up the oil. You were going to do this again to our token. And we stop the program. Again, these circles right here, you actually don't need, but for me, it's a nicer way of reading. So if anybody else ever reads this program, they can see it. All right, guys. So before we test it out, and then like I said, I'm going to replicate the same thing over here. The only changes I need to make are, I'm going to change the token slot from 0 to 1. Okay. And then, of course, I need to change them over here as well, where I write them. And the next one is that I'm going to change the sides, all from east to west on all of these. And on this one here, I'm going to change from crystallized to the empowered one. Okay? Which we're going to get in a second. And I just noticed. Oh, no, I'm not getting a seat. I don't need to have a hopper underneath. What am I talking about? Okay, so but I do think that we should be able now to turn this on. And then within 30 seconds or something, this should be full up to 8 buckets. And there should be no more things dropping here to make us more. And there should be no more dropping here. So I really hope this works. Let's go ahead and save this program. It's called Crystallized. And in here, I already checked this one to slot 0. Everything else is still the same. You guys ready? I'm ready. Hopefully I didn't mess it up. That's already good. No errors. All right, there we go. You guys see? It placed the oil. Oh, what was that? Why was this going 3 times? What? Ha! Because it's asking it to wait for 3 seconds. Okay, but it is stopped now. I think I have an idea how this works. See, this is 8 with 8 buckets, and it's waiting for the next one. And now the cool thing is here, when you check on our token, it is set to value 2, right? You guys see that under type integer value 2 in blue? What this tells me now, if I ever need to troubleshoot this, hey, all right, this one is set to 2. Yes, it has the crystallized liquid. It's waiting to pick it up, but because it's full, it isn't. And there should be 1 seed in here. Now, what I'm guessing here, guys, what happens is, and that's something I have never had to use before, is that, because in this first program, after it does something, it waits for 3 seconds, right? And this one runs. There's this exclusive mode. I'm going to have to check here. If pressed, then programs on card X can only run on core X. Let's see if I can figure this out. Let's do this here. So exclusive, right there. Can I click this? So I think I couldn't really figure out what this one does here. If pressed, then programs on card X can only run on core X. I don't know how I can mark these. Okay, I'm not sure. But what I just learned is that one of these cores can run 1 program at a time. So if I only have 1 core, it will run this program, and then it will run this program, and then it will run this program, and then back to the first one. So I think for right now, until everything is done, and maybe I understand this better, and maybe you guys can tell me down in the comments how I can make it, because you clearly saw just now that 3 seeds dropped at a time, which is fine. It wasn't a waste, even though this guy needs power now. We need to set this up real quick. Sorry about that. I'm losing my train of thought here. Number 2 is power, and you need insert. You need power, so you should be getting charged. Yes, it's getting charged. Okay, good. None of these here need power, so that's fine. One is waiting and you are full. So I'm gonna leave it on one processor right now. They're not gonna go bad here because I'm pretty sure we're gonna use a lot more RF tools control in the future. So now up to the task that I need to replicate the same thing over here. But first we still need to set up to get the oil from here to there, and we still need to actually make these seeds right there, right? And because it can access it directly, that should be quite easy. So let's do it this way first. We are on channel 2, which is the power. Channel 3 is the items. Let's unselect this for a second. I need to have another channel, because I'm already inserting here. I cannot extract again without setting another node. So let's just use channel 5 here for items. Create, uncheck this, and we can turn this one on and on. But I still want to turn this off for a second. I guess we can use 5 for this. Yes, okay. So let's extract from the drawer. We're gonna extract only these seeds. Make sure meta is checked. And then we're gonna insert, wait, I said extract. There we go. From here, and we're gonna insert that on each one of these. Only one, of course. This type meta. And you right here, create, insert, one meta, only the seed. Where are the other two? There's one right there. It lists them by distance, I believe, from the controller, if I understand this right. Right here, and then right there is another one. Insert one meta right there. Okay, so it extracts it, puts them on there. And then, of course, in the end, we need to extract from here. But first, we need to make one. So I'm going to take this out real quick and turn on channel 5. Boom, it makes it, and it is there. So now I just need to take this out real quick. It's fine. Oh, of course, it already put the next one. Perfect. Laser, bam, and it has another one waiting down there. Cool, it scared me for a second, but it's working as intended. So now here, let's turn off channel 5 first. We are going to extract this guy, turn on meta, because you have :24, correct? And we're gonna insert that into our last dropper right here, the crystallized oil, where we drop it into the crystallized oil. We're gonna insert only that meta, and I just want to hold one. That's good enough. Okay? And that's fine. I'll just put these away. I don't need them anymore, so I have a couple extra. I put them in there later. Let's turn on channel 5 again. It should suck it out from there, and it should be waiting in here for me. Perfect. And the next one just sits there, waiting to be pulled out. I like it. Okay. And last but not least, we need to get the oil. And for that, we should definitely be able to use channel 4 again. Yes. So let's turn this off. We are going to pull from URD placer. I need the red ones right there. I need the canola oil row. Okay, it's just still the same row. I'm going to extract, and I'm gonna insert into this fluid placer here, the one for the crystallized oil. Oh. But that means that it is possible that it would be put regular canola in here if it is ever empty. Okay, let's see if we can... do I have an empty bucket? Nope, but I can make an empty bucket. Get out of here. I wonder if I can pick this oil up here if I right-click it. This one. Yes, awesome. So I can also set this one later. So it probably... Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's set to 2. So it should have picked this one up already. Did I? Oh, it's still set to exclusive mode. Okay, I'm just gonna sneakily take these 2 cards out real quick so everything in here stops. So it does not pick that up, so I can put that bucket back in there. But right here on the... Okay, this is the... Wow. This is the dropper, sorry. On the insert on the crystallized oil, this guy right here. I want to only insert the crystallized oil. Yes. That is important. And on this one here, in a second, I'm going to change it to only insert the other oil. So if I cannot put this one back in here, that would be this one. Oh, bummer. Okay, that's fine. So I'll keep them for further filters if I ever need it. So I'm going to empty this one here real quick. And make sure that I only pick up from you. And this has got to be that insert. So that would be... This is the fluid placer. This is the crystallized oil. And this is the regular oil. So I want to change this one to only allow regular oil. And this one here also, I'm going to just keep at 1000, guys. Because my program is not going to change. I don't want this to be having more than 1000, okay? So now if I turn this on, everything should be fine. It should have put... Aha! So there was the boo-boo already. That is a bummer. This one still. So how do I empty? I wonder if I break these, if they lose their fluid. I actually don't know. No. Oh my god, how do I take this out? Okay, so now I just want to make sure, before I put the programs in, that it actually takes a bucket and puts it over there. Let's just double check. We have it extracting from the fluid connector on canola. Anything that's in there, I don't care. And put it into this one and this one right there, which is set to only that one for one max of one bucket. So let's turn this on. Now there's only 6. So we should have one over here waiting, and you are still empty because that is the very last step we're going to do. And this one over here should have 1 and still 6, yes. So now if I put these 2 programs back in here, which is the laser, nothing should be happening. And if I put this one back in here, okay, it finally picked it up. It placed one. Seed is dropped. Making a new seed. Everything is a little bit slower now because it's using one processor at a time, right? Just that one processor over and over. It picked it up, placed it, drop, and then we should see another one drop. I actually like it in the slow speed because don't forget, one of these here is going to turn into one of the empowered, which is going to last quite a long time in an oil generator. It takes at least a minute at full power for that to be used up by them. So okay, so there's one bucket, nothing in here. We have one sitting in here, one sitting in there, still 64 here, and underneath in the chest I'm pretty sure there's one, and all of these guys are pretty much full. Good. So now what I can do is I'm gonna use the same program here. I need to get my other card out, this one right there, and I'm gonna save this one as... What did I call the other one? I want to make sure that I kind of stay crystallized. Yes, I'm going to call this one here Empower. Okay, and like I said earlier, I'm going to change all these things over now. So I'm going to check for these different token slots. And also the sides are going to change from west to east. And then we can make sure that it goes and works. Okay, I finished this program now. I just want to go real quickly through. I changed this to token slot 1, and then I also changed this, this, and this to token slot 1, as well as the last one here. So we're writing to the correct token. And then these ones here, this, you guys see here, check for the W. I changed all these from east to west, okay, because we're talking to the other side of the node now. And also this one here, this, and this. On this one here, of course, I changed this one here from the crystallized to the empowered canola seed. So those are all the changes. Otherwise, the program is the same. Now, there is one thing I still want to change, and I'll explain it here. Why? By setting up these two. I'm going to put the two connectors you guys see, I already ran the cable underground to here, and we're gonna put the two oil generators right here. And they're not set up or anything, so I'm gonna need to let these guys actually empty themselves first before I can put the empowered oil into it. So we're now going to use, let's see here. You know what? I'm gonna keep this one here. I'm actually gonna keep this one. That way my network becomes a little bit bigger. And later on, after I'm done recording, I'm gonna make another. Oh, actually, let's just make one. It doesn't matter. Power cell. I'm pretty sure I don't have another one, right? No, or a card. Okay, good. Power cell. All right, let's make one real quick. It's not the advanced. I want the simple one. So we're gonna need to have one of you. And you guys see I made a storage scanner a while ago before the episode because I had to do so much crafting here that it makes my life a lot easier. And in my Quanta series, I showed you guys how to set those up. It's very simple. You just slap it down, scan, and then you set all these here to routable, and I removed everything else that is in the area by marking it because it will find every machine, everything in a 20 block spherical radius, I believe, or 20 by 20 by 20 around it. So it's huge. But anyway, so we got the power cell, and I still need one of these cards right here. Let's get that. So now we have a new one. We don't need to move the old one. And the processor, and it just makes my network bigger anyway, because each one of them, I think, adds... I don't know. Let's check real quick. We have 500,000. I think it adds 100,000. And I do want to have this one here. It's, how do we set this up? I'm going to set it up to... Oh, I forgot another connector. Well, we'll figure it out in a second. I can do it here either. I need to get this higher. Let's go put it right there. Okay. And it's going to be extracting on the bottom and inserting on the two sides. Yes, just like that. And let's check here real quick when we put this here. Oh, I gotta tie the card. Duh. Okay, every one of them is 250,000. I only have this one, and the other one is... I don't even know where the other one is. Where do I have the second one? It's gotta be in the camp, maybe? I don't remember where it is. Okay, so we're gonna link this card right there. It's connected to ID 1. And now right there, and we are linked. I don't need another connector. What am I talking about? I'm filling it through here. I could run another connector all the way over there, or connect this and then actually set it to get the power. But this way I don't need to change anything. So this is simply filling. It doesn't matter if it's on the bottom and it's already full. And I'm hoping... Oh, what? That was odd. Okay. All right, good. So now let me explain to you why I want to make one more change, okay? Now this thing right here, it doesn't matter how many buckets it has, right? It holds 2 buckets. Right now it would push 700 millibuckets into here and 750 millibuckets into there. So it's different than 1 bucket, right? And that all is going to come from this guy right here. So let's say, you know, I have 8 buckets in here, but it only uses 300 millibuckets. If I keep the same logic, it will try to break it again and mess up my tokens. All right. So what I need to do in the program here on this one here, get liquid in tank from that one from the west. I want to check if it's, I don't want to do an equal. I want to do a greater than. If it is greater than, and we're going to say the last int, if it's greater than 7,000, okay? If that is false, so we're going to have to do false to the right and true to the bottom. So that means it's not greater than 7,000. So 7,000 millibuckets or less. Then pick up another bucket. Otherwise, stop the program because I cannot pick up the whole bucket. right? I hope that makes sense, guys. So now we're going to save this program, and I just hope that I didn't mess anything else up. But we're going to see in a second, because everything else should work. We have not connected the generators back there and so on. I'm actually going to need to get some power production. I need to use some power so these two back there actually get used. Okay, so this one here is still set to use this token. Perfect. Let's put it in here. No errors are happening. And it's going to take a second, guys, because you remember the 3-second pause and so on. You have a seed waiting and you have a bucket. Did I? Missing internal slot. So that could mean that this is actually not. Ooh. This token is empty. This is set to 2. Okay, this is a gamble, but because I could mess everything up, but it's fine. We're gonna have. Okay, here's my thinking: is that because this slot is the first one, it's possible that this shifts to 0. It says missing internal slot at 1, 0, and that means it's 0, 1, and this is row 0. So at this one here, I'm checking the token slot 1, which doesn't exist for it. So that means I need to change all these back to 0. This one, as well as this one. And I didn't know that, guys. Sorry about that. So it's apparently whatever the first one you give it, that is for the program, the slot 0. So there, these 3, and then of course the bottom one here as well, which is only really used one time. Close. So that should be it. Let's put the card in here and save it. And hopefully it works now. Let's do a clear here so we see new messages when they happen. Okay, so it did put that in here and it dropped it. Okay, so that was the problem. And it picked it up. And it's making a new one of these. It probably, yeah, it's making that one. It's going to drop it in here. It already put it over there. It's going to drop another one. It's going to keep going until this is at... Until this is full. Yes, because we're checking if you are bigger than 7,000. So that is how that works. Okay, and we're going to have to give this a second because I still need this to lose its power right there. These guys, I need them to be used up completely before I can send this fluid to over here. And okay, so now what we can also do is, in the time being, is we can go to... I'm actually not going to need to row 1. That's interesting. We need to go to row 2 here because that's another thing we still have to set up. Where are you? There's the farmer right there. We need to insert power into our farmer. Okay? So this guy over here actually now starts harvesting canola. And you guys see it is doing it. And then of course, I guess that is what we can use the channel 1 for. That's not a bad idea. Let's use this one here and set it to item, create. And let's set up the insert first right here. We want to insert any amount you want into the drawer, and then from the farmer here we need to set extract, and let's do it a stack at a time. Yeah, you guys see it going up. It's bringing all the canola and the seeds over, and I'm hoping... Yes, okay, so it keeps... Let's see here what happens once this is done planting, if it will send the other seeds over, or it doesn't send seeds until this one is actually full. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Can I put you over here? Yes. So this is just the internal storage for the seeds. If there's going to be any excess seeds, they're going to come over here. Now, of course, my thing is what I still need to do is I need to give this one here a void upgrade. Because if the canola is ever full, then the machine over there might get full and it cannot pick up any more seeds or ever, and vice versa. And let's see. You are at... You should be at 8, yes. And then there should be one more coming here. And then everything should stop. Bada bing, bada bang. You guys can see them coming over nicely. I like that. It's a nice and slow process. It actually wanted it to be slower. Okay, now we should have one more drop over here. So this turns into the crystallized. Okay, and then you are full, so you're not going to pick it up. And it's going to drop one more and then be done. Now, nothing else should happen because everything is waiting for that oil right there. The empowered oil to be used up. Let's see here. Are you making me any more? Oh, you know what else I probably should do is take down the 2 solar panels. And I'm going to wait out until these 2 oil generators are done over there. I'm going to process a bunch of ore and stuff. These 2 right there. I use them for my builder. I don't want to use any solar besides actually outside of the base. And I'm going to keep this guy just like that. It's simply feeding these machines. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and process a bunch of ore and so on to use up a bunch of the power. And then we have one more step and we're done. Alright, this power should now be empty. I'm pretty sure you guys saw that I shift-clicked this card into here. And it actually went down there and unset it. I had to retie it and then put it up into the top left slot here. And then it actually used the power and these guys are now finally empty. Good. So first thing I'm going to do is right-click this once to get the proper fluid out. Yes. Okay. And it should make another one. This should go away here. Yep, because it dropped it already. It's making the next one. And over here, I have altogether 3 iron upgrades and 1 void upgrade. And that should be enough. This is a very easily extendable setup. Okay, I can add tons more of the... like on top of this, I could add 4 more canola presses and then 4 more fermenters and so on. And this over here, like I said, one of these buckets is going to last quite some time in there. So let's go ahead and let's do this last step here that we need to do today, and that is under fluid. Disable it first so we don't have another boo-boo. And we are going to go to these 2 guys right there, and we're going to set insert, but only this one. Insert only this one. Max, I don't care. You put as much as you want. And then these are the droppers. You are the placers. I need these guys right there. This last one, the crystallized oil row, which actually holds the empowered fluid. And this one here, we're going to set to extract. And just for good measure, it shouldn't really matter now, because that's the only thing it can hold. Because that's what's in front of it. Yes. Okay. And no rate, nothing. Okay, and we're going to put this guy up here in the collection. So we have them all. Let's just double check. I think we're ready. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Bada bing, bada bang. Okay. What? Wait. You're full. I did turn this on, right? We are inserting into the 2 oil generators only that fluid, and we are extracting from this one here as well. Did I... No, if it wasn't cabled enough, can I maybe not insert from the bottom? That is the only thing I can say, that maybe you cannot pull in fluids from the bottom. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn this one off for a second, so there's no other boo-boos. Let's get this guy. And I'll move the cables out one afterwards, or move the whole thing down, we'll see. And let's get 4 of you, even though that doesn't look too bad. And let's change this over just to make sure. Okay, yes, that's on fluid. We need to... I need my bucket. Insert, you only get this. and you this. Okay, and let's turn on channel 4 again. Alright, it instantly did it. Good. So apparently with actual additions, there's gonna be some things here, but you guys see each one of them make 350,000 RF a tick, which is very nice. And we can check over here. Look at it. It went down 50 and another 50. So it takes 50 millibuckets at a time and puts them over here to keep this topped off. Yes. And of course, because, you know, this is, once this is full now, 750,000 RF, which you see, it's going up very fast. This is more power than I can need right now. It's if I don't run the builder or something. And it's a very nice, it's not really early power. Look at this. Whoop, it's filling. Very nice. I'm happy about it. Thank you very much, Whitby Dragon, for sending this from HQ. I hope the headquarters are happy about this. And I'm going to send them all the research data, of course, that I collected here, together with all my assistants. Alright, before I end this episode today, I wanted to, real quick, it's the next day actually, I wanted to point out two things. One thing was that in the controller right here, I forgot to set up the 4 display stands right here. I needed to add them to the power network. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and the 4th one is down there. Because they ran out of power, I never added them to receive power, but now they're getting fully charged every time. And the other thing is here, I forgot to lock the drawer. So when I came on today, I was out of power completely. And I couldn't figure out why. Right, the oil was sitting in there, it didn't get pumped over here and so on. And then I noticed that it doesn't drop the seed, and this did not have a seed. And I noticed that there was more canola oil in here. So now, since then, I took out all the canola from all the canola from here down to here, and then I locked the drawer, and now I have 165 seeds. But I started with 195 about 15 minutes ago. So I don't think I am getting enough canola seeds from the setup over here. But I'm going to keep my eye on it. I'm going to check again in a couple hours. And if we don't get enough seeds, there's a recipe for the canola seed. You can turn a canola into canola seeds. And of course the canola, we're getting plenty. We started with 600, around 600 I think. And we're up now, so we have a big surplus. So I'm going to keep my eye on it, and if I don't get enough seeds from just harvesting over there, which I am sure I don't, the next episode we're going to start with setting up a quick auto-crafting process over here to check, you know, if we get like below 100 or something of these seeds. We're going to turn about 100 of these canola back into seeds, and nothing else in the setup will change. We're going to just add this up here or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this real quick, and now we'll go cut back and finish the episode. But now I have one question about the episode to you guys. This was very technical. We had our head in this one and in this one for quite some time today, and I know some people do not enjoy that very much, and some of you really do. Please go down in the comment and tell me if you guys want to see more of this whenever, you know, there is another project or something where we can use both RF tools and XNet, or if you want me to do more off camera and maybe just simply explain to you real quick how a program works and so on, because there's also no way that I know of that we can share the programs. I don't know, validate program. Okay, I never used that. I don't know if there's a way to share these programs that I'm setting up. Probably not, because how would it know what machine is, right? Anyways, take a second and go down in the comments and tell me how you overall like all the technical stuff. And other than that, I'm super happy. Everything seems to work. We got the right fluids. This isn't doing anything now. Nothing, because it will wait until it's down to 7,000. Yes, if it's greater than 7,000, so 7,000. Once this is down to 7,000, we can wait this out just right now. It should pick this up any second. There we go, because it had a chance to pick it up, and it's going to make the next one. So you guys see, now it's going to be very slow, because we barely need any power with our current base and so on. But in the future, we're going to need more, and there's going to be many other power generations that we're going to do in Mob Smasher Industries over here in our area, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it. I'm signing off. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.